Okay, we're going to show you how to weave the chainmail into a patch now. You're going to need a couple of things. What we have set up here, we have about 11 rings set up on our little piece of wood here. It's actually just a wooden chopstick, and we have 2 clamps. These are A-clamps from Home Depot. This is not necessary. It's just here to make using our 2 pliers a little bit easier in weaving the rings.
Okay guys, I set up 11 rings here completely closed. And to close them, you're going to use the pliers. So we suggest you get 2 just because if you use one, you're going to have to open them up with your hands and it gets kind of tiring after a while. So just as an example, these are the ones that Nick cut earlier, so you see that it's not completely closed. So you're going to want to close them with the pliers. It's pretty simple to do with one plier, but to open them, you should use 2 pliers. So you're going to put in on the stick, and this is just to make it easier for you, 11, or actually the measurement of whatever it is that you're making. In our case, we're just using 11 for the demonstration.
You can always add more if you make the patch, realize that it's too small, and you need to put more on. That's not a problem at all. So we're going to get started here with the first ring, and we're going to weave our way essentially down, and we're going to show you how to do that.
We're going to do two rows so you guys can see. You're going to want to open it up so that way you can slide it in to the rings on here on the stick. So you're going to take first the 2 rings and you're going to loop it right through. And you're going to close it.
And if you guys can, try to make sure that all the rings are going to be facing the same direction. That'll come into play later, and you'll see what I mean as the video goes on.
And make sure that when you do close the rings, that they're as close as possible, because if not, you run the risk of them opening up when you've already weaved them, and that is a pain to go back and fix. So you're going to grab the second one, and you are going to take one of the ones that are connected already and a new ring, and you're going to slide it through right where they meet and close.
So this way you have one old ring and one new ring, and they're both joining together.
Exactly.
And now do you see how the 2 rings on the bottom are facing the same way as the rings on the top are facing an opposite way? Try to keep them as uniform as possible. It's going to make your job much easier in the long run. Okay, we've got our 2 completed rows here, and we're going to start to add our third on.
Alright, for the third row, you're going to follow the same instructions as the second. You're going to keep on looping the open rings through the 2 for the 2 meet. And for every other row, so it would be the first, and in this case the third row, and then every other one after that, you're going to want to add an extra ring to each end. So that way the weave stays even throughout as you go working on it. So you're going to add an extra one here at the end that just holds on to the first ring of the second row.
Yeah, this one doesn't go through 2 rings. This one is just all by itself hanging out so that it maintains its even look and flows well.
Exactly, and the rest you're going to do the same. You're going to loop them through where the both of them meet. And close.
An important thing to note about the extra ring is you want to do it on both ends, not just on one end. So on both ends there's going to be 1 free hanging ring on each side. Okay, now we have 3 total rows completed.
And you're going to want to keep on working. It's on the chopstick or whatever you come up with. It's just easier. You're going to go all the way down until maybe you reach the table, or or at that point you can take it off, or whatever is easier for you.
Okay, and after a little bit of work, this is what you're going to end up with. As you can see, everything is flowing very nicely, one way, one way, one way, one way. And it's going to be a pretty significant time investment, but I think you're going to be happy with the results. This method is not by any means quick, but it is the easiest. So this is the method we chose to use.
If you guys want to see what it looks like once you get it down this far, just simply take it off. And by opening it up, you can also check and make sure that you have all your rings right and they're all flowing correctly and you didn't make any mistakes on it. So as you can see, everything's really uniform. They're all lined up correctly. All the extra ones at the ends are these right here, and you can see they're all there. There's no mistakes, so it's looking good.
At this point, you can lay it across the pad. Make sure that you have enough, or if you need to add some more links on the sides. Alright guys, I hope you liked the video. Stay tuned for part 3 where we actually put the chainmail onto the pad. Take care.